Hello everyone and welcome to the channel How Do I Do It. Now I bring you this tip to give another use to our dental floss. You know that we always try to make them tips that you can do without having to buy anything or spend as little as possible. And that these are as useful as possible or simply, so that you have another option to do things. In this case, dental floss can be used to cut soft things like cheeses, cakes, meatloaf, fruit and several other things. Right now, I will show you some of the things that can be done with this hygiene item that we always have on hand. Let's start with the cheese. It can be any type of cheese, as long as it is not very hard, but it can be manchego, panela cheese, or any other cheese that is soft. As you can see when cutting it with a knife, there are always parts stuck together, and apart from that we cannot cut it to the exact size we want because it is very soft, and this makes the cut more difficult. But if we take a piece of dental floss, you have to make sure that it has no flavor or any aroma, because if not it can stay in whatever we are breaking. Take a piece large enough so that you can tie it very well to your fingers, and that it does not come loose. But since you have it well secured, just slide it as if you were using a saw from top to bottom, and break it the size you want, and you will be able to do it without problems, and without anything getting stuck in the thread, since it has no way. Try to hold the cheese with something if it is not a very soft cheese, because if not it will move like it did to me.
But you can still see that it breaks very easily and is the size we want and the thickness we need for what we are going to make or present.
The ideal thing to cut with dental floss is cream cheese, or very soft cheeses, such as brie, goat cheese, etc. Because we always end up crushing it with a knife, or it all sticks to it, and then it is a mess to remove it, and get it the size we want. But with the thread it will be exactly the size you want, whether in squares, strips, or slices as seen in the video. And almost nothing will stick to the thread, and thus, you can better present your snacks or dishes that you prepare for yourself or your guests. And everyone will wonder how you did it, and there you may or may not share the advice, which I hope you share by telling them to subscribe to the channel. Another thing that dental floss is very useful for is cutting birthday cakes, either when we are making them and want to cut the bread in half to put the frosting on, or simply to cut the slices evenly without crushing the cake. In the absence of a cake, I will show you with a hamburger bun, which although it is not the same, serves very well to give an example of how to use it. As you can see, with the knife everything ends up being crushed, and we are going to serve pieces that are all deformed, but with the thread its shape is maintained and the slice will look more presentable. And you can cut it exactly since you cut it from side to side, without having to make the typical circle in the middle of the cake, and then start cutting the slice. I repeat, with the bun it is not the same, but it is as an example, and I think it is very clear how you have to do it to break it easily. As you could notice, now we can give another use to our dental floss, and believe me that it will be very useful for your meetings, or family meals, or just to do things in a different way, and that it will be much more presentable, or without everything being crushed as we saw with the cheeses, or the cakes. In this case the bun, but it can be used as I told you at the beginning, for meat pies, donuts, bread of the dead, and even with fruits. Anyway, as I always tell you, these are tips that you can improve, and if so I will appreciate it if you put it in the comments. As you know, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with all your family, friends, and acquaintances, like the Facebook page, and check out the other videos, because I assure you that some of them will be very useful to you. Thank you for watching, and I hope this advice has been useful to you. As always, see you in the next videos. Thank you.